Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio. This is episode 407 for June 3rd, 2021. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel.
I'm Kyle, the lunatic.
I'm Mo.
And I'm Kelly.
There we go.
You know what? You guys are so much better than Dave and Trevor. Like, seriously, you guys don't screw it up ever. Like, twice. Okay,
got the show notes open.
Yeah. 2 for 2.
Yeah. It's so much better than the old hosts. Glad he got rid of them. Anyways.
They're listening.
I know. That's why I said it.
All right. Well, when we get into what we did in guns, what we did with guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center, Canada's premier firearms retailer. Right now, they have the Benelli M4 Tactical Titanium Edition.
Ooh. Titanium.
Which means it's like got some cool coating on there. It's Cerakoted.
Cerakote.
Yeah.
Now, what's the price difference between the titanium and the normal?
This one's $2,800. I don't know what a regular M4 would go for. This is like the fixed stock with the pistol grip on it, rather than the telescoping rod one.
Okay.
I don't know what a standard Benelli M4 goes for.
I think it's about 24 or 25.
Yeah,
425. So this
that
is
sounds
about like
right.
$300. Yeah, to get the Cerakoting on there.
Yeah.
Titanium. Maybe it's got some titanium, some real titanium in there, or maybe it's just a paint coat. I don't know. Anyways, that's what you can check out at the Calgary Shooting Center. Why don't we start with Kelly? Why don't you tell us what you did in guns this week?
So guess what? I went and did some reloading. I did. I went over to Kelly's place and the 28 gauge. So here's the deal. I don't have room here. Remember that whole reloading thing, that episode that we did, and having enough room, etc. I went over to Kelly's place and we set up some reloading equipment there because she has a basement as well as reloading benches and so much room where we can actually do this. Not only that, we can turn on some music and we can actually dance as we reload, which we did
Party.
on the weekend. Yeah, we didn't drink as we were doing it because we thought that would be a bad idea because we tend to drink a lot when we're together. Anyways, so we went through and I was able to deprime all the 28 gauge that we have collected over the last little while, as well as some of the stuff that we have had donated to us by one of our friends, the listeners of the show, Russ. So I was able to deprime all of those. We have some stuff coming in so that we can reload that. But Kelly was also doing some 9mm reloading as well. So we were able to get that done. And then we actually went out to the range and shot that, practiced a little bit for the upcoming black badge that's about to happen. Yeah, well, my CZ Shadow, the first magazine that was in, I blew out the fiber optic in the front of it. So I have to go and get that replaced. But the black badge, remember last week when I said that I didn't know when it was going to be taking place? Well, we got a notification that it's going to be happening on the 9th, 10th, and 11th of July, so which is free for me. So I'm signed up for that. So black badge will be taking place, but it means, we went to the range and it was not good. Just letting you know that.
Did you have replacement fiber optic yet?
No, not yet.
Do you want me to mail you some?
Sure, if you want to, or I can just go to.
If you go pick it up, you can get two kinds. You can get like the little short, like pre-cut ones. Don't get those. Get the longer
ones.
Yeah. And then just melt it yourself.
Yeah.
That's the way to roll with that stuff.
Yeah. So
what color are you gonna go? Are you gonna go green? Are you gonna go red?
Probably red. Red was in there before. Yeah. So
you can cut it a little bit long, and then when you melt it at the end, you can get a nice big dot at the end of that.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So, so I need to go and get that. And I also met up with Josh V and gave him his new receiver and mailed one out as well. So it's nice to see Josh. We made up on a regular, actually. I need to get a new appliance from him, by the way. I forgot to ask him about that. The other thing that happened was Adriel sent me a new mic and a new headset. So hopefully the sound quality is a little bit better. Apparently you can hear my dogs drinking now, though, so I guess
there's no hum anymore.
Yeah,
no more hum. Do you have it on the arm? Could you put it closer to you?
Like this? Do you want me to talk like this?
The Joe Rogan thing. Put a light right in front of you.
Okay. Let me know. Is this too close?
No.
Okay. Well, it's drooping. Hold on. Okay.
It doesn't.
so
It doesn't always do this. It
Yeah.
usually doesn't do this.
I just have to make it harder. Just hold on. Yeah. Better?
Just got to torque on it a bit. Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, so we got a new headset and a new mic setup. So thank you very much to Adriel. He ordered the headset yesterday and it came today. It was awesome. And
Yes.
the mic, it was 2 days as well. So everybody go to
Fast.
Amazon.ca.
Mhm.
The other thing that was happening was I did have a few meetings this week. Just wanted to actually say that Project Maple Seed, I wanted to give a huge shout out to, we solidified some of our national sponsors. So I just wanted to give a huge shout out to the CCFR for once again coming on as a national sponsor. We have a new national sponsor as well. It's the CanadaGunstore.ca. They've come on board, and we have a new platinum sponsor as well. It's PGW. PGW has actually sponsored us for the past couple of years, but they're back on board as a platinum sponsor this year. And with that, we might have something coming up soon with respect to that. So just hold tight. You might get to win something really cool.
Mm.
That's it. So
Cool.
Mo, what did you do in guns this week?
On Saturday, I drove to Guelph, Ontario for my IPSC match. It was 4 stages. In the spirit of being more positive, stage 1 was a excellent learning opportunity. Something I do know on stage planning and memorization and visualization. And I learned my lesson, and then stage 2, 3, and 4 were better. And I mean, it was reinforced to me too the next day when I was driving back to Quebec that I could close. Well, not driving, but I could think about the last 3 stages and remember every detail of where the targets were, the distance, and like count them out. But with stage 1, I couldn't. So obviously, I didn't have it in my head. The next day, I stuck around to shoot some skeet with my friend Darren. He did pretty well. I didn't harm many clay pigeons, but we still had a lot of fun. I had signed up for another match in Guelph for this coming weekend, but I had to cancel because I had a little bit of trouble getting through the border Saturday morning.
No way.
Yeah. And I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Let's just say I had a medical reason that they allowed me to go through. So,
Okay.
but I had a feeling that I would be able to pull it off 2 times in a row. So I had to cancel. And apparently the borders are going to open up in a
Well, just tell
couple
me
of
you're coming to
weeks.
see your wife in Kingston, and I'll vouch for you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I actually said I was visiting family and my kids, and they that wasn't good enough.
Oh, serious?
So, yes, that wasn't good enough.
So you were stopped coming in to Ontario?
No, from Quebec, crossing on the 401, they kind of there's like a service stop, and they kind of pull you over, and then they start asking you questions.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
This was on the 401. It wasn't over the in Ottawa. It was on the 401.
No, it was on the 401. Just just right before one of the service stops, and then they pull you into the service stop, and they start grilling you.
Grilling you.
Papers, please.
So
Yeah.
was it the OPP or was it the obviously it was the OPP?
It was
as
a PP,
opposed
yeah.
to-
Yeah. But they, you know what? They were really nice. They were nice.
Oh, that's
so
good.
yeah, I mean, it would have been a waste of an hour drive, to that point, and then turning around, and then I wouldn't have been too happy missing the match.
Did you say, "Want to see my guns, officer"?
You know what? I had a rifle case back there, which was like on the seat was folded down, and they didn't say anything about it. The officer did notice I had a Smith & Wesson cap on the dash. And he saw the logo on the back. So he says, "Are you OPP?" And I laughed and I said, "No, why?" He goes, "Oh, your hat." And then I actually said, "Oh, I'm a gun guy." And they just kind of like chuckled, and that was it. But they didn't, didn't ask any questions.
Okay, you should have said, "Yeah."
I have.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I have two pistols, a rifle, a shotgun, about 700 rounds of ammo, something like that.
Take down in the parking lot. That's what would have happened.
Yeah, and then my last thing, I was going to do another show and tell because I know Kelly really enjoyed it last week.
I do.
And I'm just going to take off my headphones for a sec. So I'm going to go from dork.
Okay. To super dork. Oh, I like those.
to super dork.
No, I really like those. Okay, are those prescription?
Yeah, so they're prescriptions. So they're the Hunters HD Gold,
Nice.
and they were good for the match. So I mean, they do work for that, but the drive was so much better too, because when it was starting to get dusky, like I could still see as if it was daylight. So that's why they say that, right?
Yeah.
And I literally pulled them down for a second. I'm like, wow, it's dark outside. And I put them back on, and the light was still good. So they're even good driving glasses as well. And I mean, I look cool as well. So
where did you get those?
I ordered them right from their website, because you can't really get the prescription like in store anywhere.
Okay.
Here in Canada anyway. So.
How was the cost?
Oh, it was.
Did you have to mortgage your house again?
It was $375 US, and yeah. So I can't do too many more show and tells, or else I'll be doing the next show from an alley with my computer on a dumpster.
So how were they, like middle of the day, bright sun?
Fantastic.
With the yellow lenses.
Fantastic. I mean, at first you have to get used to seeing everything in yellow, but then you just get used to it, and then everything just looks good. So yeah,
nice.
And that's it for me.
From the blue.
Yeah,
cool.
How do I look? Do I look good?
Do the yellow lenses help?
Yeah, do the yellow lenses help. How about Adriel? How about the grotto there?
All right, Kyle, why don't you tell us what you've been up to?
Well, first off, wearing my got my Kentucky Ballistics t-shirt in, so
nice.
Just
I love that.
So that come in. I forgot to do it last week, but just recently got proof barrel in for my hunting rifle. So I'm gonna rechamber it.
Ooh.
It's currently in 25-06, and this is in 280 AI.
Nice.
Oh, I like that cartridge.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I just gotta find a stock. Don't know what I'm gonna go with for a stock, because it's a bigger barrel than what's on their factory. So that's gonna get done for hunting season. Did a little bit of dry fire, getting ready to go for the hunting season. I'm gonna lead Mo on because he knows what's coming, and but also some wheeling and dealing with a buddy of mine, and picked up this Zev OZ9.
Nice.
So,
that's nice.
So
very nice.
Very nice. Zev developed. One thing about this is I'm hoping that I can get a Timney trigger to pop in there. I've heard rumors that you can. So I'm going to be talking to Timney and try and get a trigger to throw in there. And another thing.
Oh.
We're having no luck with the internet today.
No.
Special.
Oh. All right there. Oh, new gun stuff.
We're not on new gun stuff.
No, we're not. Why does it say new gun stuff for the banner, though? Let's have a look.
I don't know. You did
Stand
that.
by.
Yeah.
All right.
Change it back to that one.
Gremlins tonight.
Lots of gremlins. Lots of gremlins. Okay, well, I guess I'll do what I did in Gunst for now. I got some numberage stuff in. So now I've actually got 2 orders coming in. My first one was like some bands and that kind of thing. So I got like a mid band. I got a 4 of the band at the end, and a buddy of mine got the rear band because there's 3 on a number 4. So I've got those all coming in. And then let me just remove this, Kyle. There we go. Sorry, Kyle. I was just talking about my numberage stuff. Are you back?
Oh, now we have no audio.
There we go.
There's of issues everywhere tonight.
There we go. Yeah, sorry. You're telling us about your OZ9 there.
Yeah. So these ones come with RMR cut for the dot. This one, if you can see that logo, is not an RMR. This is one of very few that are cut for the Leupold Delta Point Pro.
Oh, cool.
So buddy of mine was looking to get rid of it, so we did some wheeling and dealing, and gonna try this out for some IPSC.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's a nice Cerakote finish on it too.
yeah,
Cool.
and I was supposed to go RO a Rimfire Precision match this weekend, but found out yesterday that it got canceled due to COVID. So
Damn COVID.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be long. And that'll
Yeah.
stop. Yeah.
Okay.
other than that, Adriel, would you like to continue with your new gun stuff or your
Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
did?
Numrich and stuff. Yeah. So I got a bunch of like old stinky, like greasy parts for an Enfield, and those came in. Did a bit more gunsmithing, working on the stock for that one.
How close are you to finishing?
Not close yet.
Okay.
Not close yet. The thing is, like, with a project like this, where like I don't really know what I know, I might find that I'm 10% in. I might find that I'm 90% in. I don't know. It really depends on how the fitment all lines up.
Mhm.
I have been thinking about glass bedding a couple of surfaces on the inside there.
Okay.
I was watching, I think I mentioned last week, I was watching Rifle Chair's video showing some of the different bedding styles. And I liked the number 4 Mark 1 Star T, whatever, the sniper version. They had a version of it that they used some epoxy glass bedding on a couple of the surfaces that I really liked. I like epoxy for like repeatability. If you glass bed a rifle and you go put it back in, especially a wood rifle, that's like so sensitive to bedding pressures and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna glass a couple of those spots just to give you that repeatability. Yep.
Everything that you just said means that you know much, much more than me. So
I've been watching some YouTube videos, but other than that, I would say I don't really know a whole lot about it.
You've been watching YouTube videos. You actually have been talking to a lot of people. I'm assuming that you've been talking to Rifle Chair about it as well. You've been getting recommendations.
I've been watching his YouTube videos, and I comment a couple of times.
Okay. Have you been getting comments and feedback from other people as well, based on inquiries?
Yep.
Yeah.
Other people telling me what I need to be doing.
Okay.
And what are you doing for this? It's like, I don't know. Now that you've asked, this must be a nuanced thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll keep working on it.
Are you enjoying? Because it's something new for you. Are you enjoying it?
Yes. Like there's some parts of it that are kind of frustrating. It's not building an AR, right? Like I could get a box of AR parts and have an AR in an hour. And this is not that. Not at all. But that's okay because I'm not pressed to use that gun right now. So it's okay. I think it's fine that's where it is, and I'm enjoying some of the woodworking. So yeah, it's been good. I would say that if you want to do it, it's a lot more involved than you think it is. There's a lot more fitting. Like with the stocks, I'll take the butt plate, for example. The butt plate needs quite a bit of fitting, and then you need to fit the stock so that it matches up with the butt plate too. So belt sander, drawing lines, sanding, fitting up the butt plate. Oh, it's not quite there. Let's do some more sanding. So it's a lot of
is
not Dremel. It's not like take the thing, you'll hit it with some chisels a couple times and then slap it together and you're done. It's very far from that.
Although it's not like building a piano. It's somewhere between AR and piano.
That doesn't mean anything to me. Putting together a lever action rifle, that can be pretty tough.
Okay.
All
right.
What else I do? Sold some guns. Sold. I had a 20 gauge, a 510 Mossberg Bantam, which it didn't use it a lot. The kid didn't use it a lot. Mostly when we go shooting grouse, we'd use 22s because we don't flush them out here or use dogs. We just kind of see them on the ground and we shoot them in the face and eat them. Yeah, right. Yeah. So
I actually took a look at your list. You don't have a lot left on your list. Your list is on. Yeah, your list is on huntinggearguide.com, whatever it is. Anyways, so I did have a look, but I also I really enjoyed reading through your reviews on, the selling properties of the stuff that you're selling. I
still haven't sold the Terra, and I think it's because I gave it such a shit review.
I was reading that. I'm going, yeah. Hey, did you sell the WK?
No, I didn't sell that one yet.
Okay, talk
either.
to me after.
Okay. Yeah, I have them priced pretty good. So I sold some more. I'm gonna go actually after the show here and go mail one. I shipped some patches, so I went through the email and got some patches out there, and I got some swag too. It was Silvercore here. Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, he has
came
much
in.
better swag than we do.
I was real jet. Like when I opened it, I'm like, oh, I mailed them like a patch and a sticker, and this is like, and this is the stuff I got back. Like, geez, I'm a jerk.
We have to come up with some really good. We have to come up with some swag and send it out to some people.
Yeah, that's why I
It'll be
immediately asked you. I'm like, Kate, we need some more patches. We need some more of this. We need some more of that. Oh, I also shipped some stuff to Kyle and Mo. So you guys have some packages on the way. Or Kyle, yours should be there. If it's not there today, it should be like tomorrow.
You need
Great.
to
Yeah, you're muted there.
I get the pop up, but
Let's see here. Swag. Oh, and then I'm doing a ladies' day this weekend. So in Alberta here, we're back to stage 1, which means 10 people per bay kind of a thing. So we're going
Where's
to do
the
a
ladies'
ladies'
day?
day. Chaz?
Oh, you guys are doing Ladies' Day?
Mhm.
Nobody talked to
Saturday.
me.
Okay.
What's that about? All right, whatever.
It's ladies' day. I don't know. I'm not. I am being told what to do on this one, which is nice. I'm just going to do some 22 stuff.
Okay.
Loading
Weird.
mags. I'm going to be a mag loader. That's going to be my job.
On 22?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm also going to show people what to do, but most of the gigs just loading mags. Takes less time to unload them by firing than it does to load them.
Oh.
And I think that's about it. I think that's about it for me right now.
Cool.
Why don't we get into upcoming events? Upcoming events are sponsored by Telos Alpha. Telos Alpha is a Canadian digital agency that works exclusively in the firearms vertical. They help with business processes, strategic planning, websites, e-commerce, and battling the stigma the industry carries with banks, merchant processors, and social media. For upcoming events, well, there's a Chaz Ladies' Day this Saturday.
Apparently.
Yep. So if you're a lady in the Edmonton area and you're like, you know what, I want to go shoot some guns, go to Chaz on Saturday at like, I don't know, 8. Just like roll in there. Don't need a pal or anything like that. Just roll in and, we'll get some guns in your hands.
Cool.
There's going to be a Lee Enfield shoot June 20th at Chaz. For more information on that, head on over to the Facebook page. There's going to be Maple Seeds at BTSA June 24th and 25th. Right now, we have them limited to, according to the Alberta Stage 1 restrictions, which are 10 people max, including instructors. So we have those limited to 7. I predict those are going to increase, and we're going to have more room. So if you want to go to a Maple Seed at BTSA, June 24th, 25th, sign up for the wait list on either of those events. I checked. It's open. It's ready to go.
Okay.
So wait list for those events, because likely what's going to happen is June 10th or June 12th or whatever, the Alberta government's going to announce that we can do up to 20, and we're going to open those up, and I'm going to go start with the people who are on the wait list.
Yeah,
so that'll be the first one that's reopened after our May start in Alberta here, which would be nice.
Mm.
Yeah, and Chaz 3 gun opened up as well. So that's our next event. The registration's opening in an hour.
In an hour.
I'm going to try to get in. Yeah, so the registration's opening in an hour.
Okay, we need to finish the show.
I need to be here and on this computer.
Yes.
We can still be here. I'm just going to be typing madly, furiously in the background. So I need to get that registration in under a minute, or I'm not getting a spot.
Yeah. How many people for the 12th?
I think it's 10 per base. I think it's 50.
Okay.
Yeah. Small one. Let's get into the news. Let's see here. CCFR legal fund donations. Kelly, did you want to cover this?
Okay. So there is currently no updates on group donations, but they're still doing the neon sign. So go on over to their website. It's $10 per entry, and it's one of those neon signs. It's actually a 3-foot sign, and it says these guns are not for sale. So if you go to memberships, firearmsrights.ca, and it's sign contest, and just go and donate there. Every $10 that you actually submit you'll get an entry in to win one of those beautiful signs. I want it. I need it for my girl cave. Lady
Girl cave.
cave.
That'd be perfect for like a kid's room too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good
Nightlight.
nightlight. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I want to get into new gun stuff. New gun stuff is sponsored by Bolt Action Coffee. Slamfire Radio is now a brand ambassador for Bolt Action Coffee. The coffee is roasted in small batches, and it's quite honestly some of the best coffee you can get your hands on. Send it to your house by going to boltactioncoffee.com. Discount code SLAMFIRE. I got a couple here that I found. This first one here, let me get the screen share going so people can see what we got going here. This first one's at Bullseye. They've got Fiocchi dummy 12 gauge shells. Now, I typically get these from Brownells, but you got to get a pack of 25 and you got to pay the duty and all that nonsense. These are boxes of 10, which is enough for 3-gun practice and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And they're $12. Super reasonably priced. Very clearly a dummy shell. So if you want to practice loading your shotgun for 3-gun, and you should probably do that, you should get a box of these from Bullseye North.
Sweet.
They even say 3-gun on them. Look at that. 3G plus JM. Is that Jerry Michalik? Is that the idea?
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's say it is.
Interesting.
It's a good price for dummy rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the nice thing is that they're very clearly dummy rounds. They're you can make them yourself just by cutting them and throwing some paper and pellets and whatever in there, but it's not clearly not a shotgun shell, right? So it's nice to get those.
For sure. Like I set up a single stage and it's shells, but I make sure I use a different color. But yeah, those are great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This next one, this is kind of new. Wolverine Supplies has the B&T APC 9 match 9mm. They've got them in non-restricted lengths. So this is a 9mm PCC, and they got them at Wolverine. And it's B&T is like what, Brugger and Thomet, something like that.
Yeah,
they're pricey. They're premium priced.
It's pricey, yes.
Yeah,
it's $4,000. Yeah,
yeah.
But
yeah,
very fancy, very fancy. And then this next one, this is a little bit not ominous. It's like mysterious. Maple Ridge and Victory Ridge Sports. They are having a big sale tomorrow, and they say you got to sign up to their mailing list to get access to it. Maybe it's receivers. I don't know, but there's a question mark in front of it. So maybe they're just fooling us.
It looks like a receiver. So,
but there's a question mark.
But
What's
it's a question
mark mean?
I don't know.
All the
Big
mystery.
deals coming tomorrow.
It's so mysterious.
Hot deals, unlimited quantity items. What does that mean?
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe. That'd be cool.
Go and do that over at our friends at Maple Ridge.
In Victory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, why don't we get on to the main topic? All right. And for our main topic, we have Bill. Bill, why don't you introduce yourself and introduce your company?
Well, I call myself Cedar Ridge Retrievers. I've had retrievers on, and I've had dogs retrievers since 1980. I got my first one, and here I am now, and I compete across Canada, across the U.S. In retriever field trials. I did a little bit of hunt test stuff, and was part of a group that got together with the rules committee and made up the rules for the hunt test stuff. But primarily, I'm a field trial guy. I have guys come in and give them a hand with their gun dogs, their duck hunting dogs, and try and help them out, get them in the right direction, get them so they've got a pretty decent partner to hunt with. Occasionally, we have a litter of puppies here, and go from there. That's kind of it. That's kind of the Reader's Digest version of what's going on. I'm retired, so this is a hobby, now, and a full-time hobby, I guess you'd call it.
Full-time hobby. It's always good to stay busy. You mentioned there that you go to competitions. This is like you're blowing my mind. I've never heard of this kind of thing. What do you do in a retriever competition?
Oh yeah, seriously? Yeah. So I call it the my dog's better than your dog thing, and that's how it started in the U.S. back in the late 30s, where a bunch of guys were sitting around going, "Yeah, I've got a great retriever," and the other guy says, "No, mine's better." Yeah, prove it. So let's go throw some birds for it and see my dog's better, and it just kind of morphed itself into competitions. Now there's retrieving competitions in Europe as well. I mean, the field trials that the Queen's Labradors go through, those competitions are a little bit different than what we do here, but nonetheless, it's all about sitting there and watching birds be shot or fall, and then go and pick it up and bring it back.
Oh, so there's live birds that are coming down then.
Retrieving competitions.
So you guys are actually like setting doves. You're setting out doves or something like that and shooting them, and then the dogs got like you're going on speed or how's that work?
Well, for the competition, so in the U.S. they will shoot live birds, but here in Canada, of course, we can't because of the restrictions from the criminal code. So we use birds that have been raised specifically for that purpose. They've been gassed, and we take them out and you fire and you've got a noise maker, fire a blank pistol, that kind of thing, make a noise like, and it's supposed to simulate a bird being flushed and a guy shooting it. The bird falls. The dog is back with the handler. It's called a non-slip retriever. So he's not out flushing pheasants, that style of stuff, not out in front of you. He's here beside you. And the dog out he goes, gets it, and comes back with it. Or she, in theory. And the more complicated the tests get, or the older the dogs are, the better their training. Then they'll throw 4 birds at a time in a field, or 4 birds at a time out in a swamp someplace, and the dog's got to go and retrieve each one individually and not go back to where it's been. And it can be very difficult, like up to 400 or 500 yards away, and that kind of stuff. So you can imagine a dog that's going to swim that far. Sometimes that one test can take 35-40 minutes from the start to the finish. So it's a bit of an endurance thing as well. So
yeah, that's really interesting. I hadn't heard of that before. I guess it makes sense. So you take gassed birds, and what do you got, like an air cannon or like a big slingshot, or like how do you throw them out there? I'm hoping air cannon.
Yes, there are some like slingshots that guys use. Other guys just roll them by hand.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, it's supposed to simulate you walking through the field and kicking up a bird, and it flushes and flies away from you, and you shoot it. Only maybe it flew across a drainage ditch and you can't get it, and so your buddy down the road or down the field, he has a dog. The dog watched the bird fall. He sends his dog. It goes and picks it up. That's kind of the genesis of it.
Yeah, that's really interesting. What kind of dogs are typical for this kind of thing? Like what breeds of dogs?
So, well, if you can imagine, in the hunt test world, it's a little the requirements are not quite as crazy as they are in the field trial world. And the hunt test people, you can have any kind of, I'll get it straight now, but standard poodles can compete, and Nova Scotia duck tollers, and any retriever.
Okay.
That's for the retriever hunt test. In a field trial, it's just Labrador, or like retrievers, and that's Labs and Goldens and Chesapeakes and flat coats, and Irish Water Spaniels are the other ones. And you don't see very many Irish Water Spaniels, although there's a girl not far from me here who comes out, and I give her a hand with her Irish Water Spaniels, and they go out and do their stuff. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. How often do you see a standard poodle as one of the dogs?
In the hunt test game, funny, probably more often than you would think. But there's people across Canada that have them. There's some people that live not far from here who they did at one time run their dog in the hunt tests. And that same standard poodle is one that's won some competitions in grooming and stuff across the States. It's a very nice looking dog. But hey, the guy takes it goose hunting. You guys ever see the episode of all
Duck
those
Dynasty?
fools from down in Louisiana, Duck Dynasty guys, when Cy had the apricot colored poodle out?
Yeah, made fun of, but the dog actually did really well. That's what I was wondering. I'm wondering how often you mentioned it, and I was kind of, oh, okay.
So you know what? I couldn't really say how often. I know there are some people around though that do compete in them, and yeah, it's not uncommon, that's for sure.
Okay.
Interesting. And then like, what's typically involved with like training a dog from like, do you train them from a pup or a little bit older? And then how long does it take to train them up to be a proper retriever?
Well, here, I love telling this story. So you can picture, as a kid, and I'll get to the answer. But as a kid, I heard all these stories from my parents and my uncles about great retrievers that they grew up with. Right. So as I get older, I'm duck hunting and hanging out with a guy I grew up with, and he has himself a dog, a Chesapeake Bay Retriever. And we go hunting off of Wolf Island one day. I'm amazed. The dog leaps into the water after this coot that he shot, swims out, picks it up, brings it back. I'm going, holy mackinac, did you see that? Like, that was great. Like, I'm doing this. I'm slack-jawed. I can't believe it. He says, well, my cousin is having a litter, so go out and see his cousin. Yeah, sure, you can have a dog. So I buy a dog, $250 back in 1980, and I thought I was paying a lot of money. Anyway, I pick up the puppy at 7 weeks. And I'm leaving saying, hey, thanks a lot. See you later. He says, what are you doing next week? Said, nothing. Well, come on out. We'll go training. I said, training? Training for what? He says, well, you have to train these things. I said, what? I said, yeah, you got to train these things. So here I am at 7 weeks old, thinking, this fall, it's going to go duck hunting with me, and life is good. No, I'm training. And that's kind of what started it for me, is about 3-4 times a week. And we started off just throwing pigeon wings and then pigeons and birds and bumpers and stuff for them. Yeah. So it starts early. It starts really early. At 7 weeks, we get up. Continues from there. Formal training really doesn't start until their good teeth come in. And so that's after 6-7 months. And every dog is different. So it depends upon their prey drive and how really crazy they are to retrieve, how much you can do with them.
Bill, are you in a spot where you could?
7-year-old dog here that I'm still getting out 4 times a week.
Where were we? We were talking about training. You were telling us about the story about you had just got the dog, and then you were going to go home because you spent $250, and it should be trained for $250 from birth, right? It should just be in their genes. And your buddy had said, "Hey, what are you going to do next weekend?"
Well, that's what I figured. I figured it was all just you know what? They just did it naturally, and I'm still with you. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Yeah. So we're just getting into your story about getting that first retriever and just getting into training.
Yeah. So I buy this puppy at 7 weeks, and I'm leaving, and the guy says to me, "So what are you doing next week?" I said, "No, nothing." He said, "Well, come on out. We'll train." I said, "Well, like, what do you mean train? Like, train? I thought these things were just going to do it naturally, right?" No, come on, you got to train. So that's what started it. That's how I got started. Anyway, I started going out 3 or 4 times a week and training with this 7-week-old puppy, and it just kind of morphed from there. We were out training. He says, "Hey, let's go to they're having a fun trial, the Retriever Club." So we drive down to Gananoque to this fun trial, and my dog did really good in it, and I was amazed. I mean, I was happy, and then started going to some regular field trials with her, and she was just a baby, and we did really well in those too. And the bug bit, and yeah, here we are. This is 41 years later. I'm still doing it. So,
and when you train a dog up, what's involved with it? Just like trying to get that prey drive going, and then trying to get him to like what are the steps that you'd need to take?
Well, that's essentially it, right? Like, so the first step is buying the puppy, is choosing the puppy, is finding a reputable breeder, finding a pedigree that has a decent hunting background to it, and not just taking the person's word for it, right? You have to investigate them. So you wouldn't just go to the internet and go, "Hey, Mike Smith there, he's got dogs for sale," and call him up, and he says, yeah, these are great hunting dogs. So you wouldn't just believe him. I would hope that you would talk to somebody who's got a dog, who knows somebody with a dog, somebody you can trust that by word of mouth can point you in the right direction. and then go from there, and then have a look at the dog's pedigree and see where the titles are, and not show titles, but competition, hunting titles, that kind of stuff. And once you've chosen that puppy and got it and it's home, then the big thing is you want to start teaching it how to learn. That's the key. If that makes any sense at all, like with biscuits and chunk wieners and things like that, you teach them, get their vocabulary going. You also teach them, or not teach, but try and bring out that prey drive in them and get them going and get them retrieving, get them easy to retrieve. One step leads to another, and they get older and keep adding the elements of difficulty to them. And it's tough to explain because it's a long process. You just don't get a dog and 3 weeks before you go hunting, go buy a bumper from Canadian Tire and start throwing it for it and expect it to retrieve, expect it to pay attention, listen, come back, sit, hold the bumper, deliver to hand, do all of that kind of stuff. And then you've got to shoot over them, and then you've got to get birds and get them used to delivering birds to hand. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but it's not an insurmountable challenge either. After you get into the groove, it's easy, I say.
And your company, do you what do people do? Do you just train dogs and then just buy them trained and ready to rock and roll, or do they go there for training classes, or like what how do you help people, I guess, get their dog trained up, or just buy it off the shelf? Can you buy a dog off the shelf?
I'll give you another story. So a guy I knew knows a guy, and this guy calls me up. He says, "Hey, I got a rescue dog." He said, "And I want to hunt." He's a big hunter. "I want to hunt this dog, so come on out." And he shows me his rescue dog, and it's about 4 months old. And I see what it's doing and how it's going, and so I give him some tips. You got to do A, B, C, and D. You do this, do that, do this, and come back and see me next week. So good for this guy. He does all of these things, comes back, and we continue. And it was about a year process. And that dog was, until he hurt his shoulder, was renowned amongst the goose hunting and duck hunting guys in this area. He was a really, really very good retriever, and he was a rescue. But
Interesting.
I guess to answer your question, that's kind of what I'm doing is like guys will come out and I'll have a look at their dog, and you try and figure out how their lifestyle is and fits. If it fits that they can come out and train 5 days a week, then I say, come on out, we'll train. And if not, depending on their work schedule and family and all the rest of that stuff, life is a big balance nowadays. So I give them some ideas on what to do, go do it. And I know when they show up next week, I know whether they've been doing it or not. It's pretty obvious, right? So
it all sounds like a personal trainer, like someone who'd be helping.
And when those guys are here, I get them to help me. Well, yeah, maybe, yeah. But
it's more like you're training.
And I've had lots of people show up. That's a big part of it.
Yeah,
is showing the owner what to do and helping them out. Because you know what, you can say, I can tell them, make the dog sit, and they look at me, well, sit. They'll say sit 17 times to the dog, and nothing happens. No. You have to make the dog sit. That's part of that teaching it at an early age how to learn, right? So if you continue to nag that dog and say sit 5 times before you push it down or spank its butt, it's going to know that it just has to, maybe after the 6th one, I have to sit down. Yeah, training the owner is maybe a little easier way of looking at it. But once you show them what to do, and guys that are good or girls that are good about it, and they pick up on it, you know what? Then you're off to the races, and then you get into the groove, and away you go.
Yeah.
So.
And between like upland versus like water dogs, where you're going waterfowling, is there a difference in the breeds that you would choose for those two different ones, or are they pretty much the same? Or
well, it depends. It really depends on what kind of hunting you do. So if you duck hunt and you pheasant hunt, you know what? A Labrador is a good choice. I've got a friend of mine who's from Sudbury. He has Springer Spaniels. He field trials his Springer Spaniels. He duck hunts his Springer Spaniels. And of course, he hunts them. And a Springer Spaniel field trial is totally different than a retriever field trial. Totally different. But again, it depends on what it is you want to do. If you were just hunting quail or a rough grouse, I would say go get a pointing dog. and hook up with a pointing dog trainer, and again do the same thing, whether it's a flushing dog or a pointing dog. You hook up with somebody and you get some referrals as to who's good to hang out with and learn from, and go from there. Buy a good dog, decent breeding, and then pay attention to what you're told and bring that out of them. But yeah, so if I was just hunting for me, but because I hunt some pheasants and game farms, and because I hunt ducks, I like my Labrador.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm primarily I do a lot of grouse. I guess having a dog point them out to me would be nice, because I miss them every once in a while. Like, I'll just walk right past them. Don't do
Exactly,
a lot of
Kelly.
hunting over dogs out here, but yeah, having a pointer would be good. See some of those grouse that you don't get to see.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Their noses are just fantastic. This is how a friend of mine described a dog's nose. So you walk in, it's Thanksgiving Day, and you walk into your mom's kitchen and you go, "Hey, ooh, wow, smell that turkey. That's fantastic." Well, a dog walks in and he goes, "Oh, turkey. Oh, mashed potatoes. Oh, sweet peas. Oh, this. Oh, that. Oh, dessert. Did I smell dessert? Did I apple pie?" They can smell a gazillion different things, and it's their sense of smell is incredible. You picture the tracking dogs or the drug dogs that they train, to discriminate between cocaine and weed, or to look for lost people and crushed vegetation stuff. Like, it's crazy. The stuff you can get a dog trained to sniff out, accelerant detection dogs. And by the way, competition Labradors make great acceleration detection dogs, and the great drug dogs. It's because of their prey drive and their desire and their great sense of smell.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, I think I saw recently that they could use dogs to detect COVID in people. So, I mean, there's a lot of different uses to that kind of a thing.
Yeah, no, yes, I did see something about that.
Yeah.
Well, you picture they use a dog to detect seizures in people, right?
Yeah. There's a lot that you can get off. Well, I guess that you can get off smell. I can't. Someone who's having a seizure doesn't smell any different to me. Cocaine does smell differently than to marijuana, though.
Oh, jeez.
I've heard.
Yeah.
I'm just joking around. Yeah, I mean, that's so it's really interesting. It sounds like someone would set up like sessions with you, and you kind of like coach them along. It's kind of like you're coaching them, but also showing them what to do, and helping out with getting them get their dog ready and that kind of thing.
Right. And yeah, and don't kid yourself. Like, I get them to work for me at the same time, so I get them out helping me train my dogs. Because if I don't have people there to help me, or if I don't have the slingshot thing, you know what, it makes life kind of difficult, right? So you come out, I'll show you some stuff. Now, here, grab these bumpers, and out you go in the field and fire the blank pistol and throw it and hide and do all sorts of stuff. So, you know what, I'm okay with that. And then there's some kids in the area that I'll hire to go out and throw birds for me and help me train, right? So,
oh man,
but I prefer somebody who has a vested interest in it. Yeah, let me tell you, picture that for a summer job. Go to some place like a pro trainer that has 30 or 40 dogs he's training every day. You picture what kind of job that would be on one of those half-hour water tests where you're sitting there
throwing a lot of stuff
and horse flies, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often are you going? How often are you going to these competitions? Are they prevalent here in Canada?
Well, before COVID. Yeah. Well, before COVID, May and June were probably just about every weekend. And then August and September, just about every weekend here in Ontario. Ontario, Quebec, Northern New York State. The US, they start their competitions about the middle of January. And they'll go right straight through till December, and virtually every weekend. In the US, there's one.
Is there a lot of money to be won in this?
And you out in Edmonton, you guys, whoever it is that's out in Edmonton, right? I mean, there's a couple of retriever clubs clubs out there, and they have hunt tests and field trials. There's spaniel clubs out there that are running field trials. I know there was a pointing dog club out there, right? There's stuff, if you know the right people, you just drop by and watch and see what's going on and go, holy, that's pretty neat. You'd be amazed, actually, to watch some of the stuff that the spaniels do in the flushing and that the retrievers can do retrieving stuff on land and water. It's amazing.
Yeah, it definitely sounds fantastic. Sounds like it would be a nice aid for hunting, because I know there's been a couple of times I've gone out duck hunting without a dog, and you get the chest waders, or you get like a raft and you're going through like a swamp, and it's painful and it takes a long time, and you don't get back to duck hunting until you retrieve your bird, and it's it could be a lot better with the dog. For someone out there who wants to train with you, how do they get a hold of you, and how do they get training with you?
The National Retriever Club of Canada has a website, and that's the best spot. You can find all of the different clubs across Canada, contact information there for people, and through the Canadian Kennel Club as well. They have those retriever clubs are able to get a hold of people there. And the other way is word of mouth. Like I think Damien from Punisher is the guy that gave you my name, because I sold Damien a dog, and he comes out and trains with me, and I help him and his dog Lander. So again, word of mouth, right? And that's the best way to do it. And if Damien's funny, I get a kick out of him, because he just wanted a dog just to hunt and pick up birds. And so now he has a dog that's steady, doing doubles and triples, doing blind retrieves where the dog has no idea where the bird is, and it may be like 200 yards away. And you line the dog up and send it. And when it gets offline, you stop it and tell it to go right or left or away from you. And his dog is doing all that stuff now at 2 years old. And he's going, I would have never thought. So they're pretty cool.
Remote controlled bird retrieving machine.
I encouraged him to come out, and he's been a good student. So
yeah, that sounds awesome. Perfect. How do people get a hold of you at Cedar Ridge Retrievers?
Well, you would have to fire me a text or an email. So that's probably the best way to do it. The email is probably the easiest. Hey, I'm not, like I said, this is mainly hobby stuff. This isn't making me $1 million. I'm just out to, like, I've been training dogs, like I said, since 1980, and this is how I enjoy my off time or my retirement.
He
lost him again.
Oh no.
I really was serious about going over there and, snuggling his puppies.
Sounds like you should bring your puppy over there.
The other one.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah, sounds fantastic. So, we have your email address. So, if anyone's in the Ontario area, Kingston area, how far do people travel to train with you, Kingston?
Well, let's see. We're heading to North Bay next week to do some training. There's a guy up there that's got a facility, some land and water. And so there's a group of us that train regularly around here. We're going to take off and go there. But I would drive an hour and a half just to hook up with some other guys, that like-minded individuals, and throw some birds and do some training. So
awesome.
It just depends. Okay. The day depends on the weather. It depends on where you're going, right? Sorry?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for any listeners that want to get hooked up and train up their dog, I guess reach out to us, and we'll pass on Bill's contact information so you can check him out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
And there's lots of people that have contacted me, friends of friends, right, that are looking for puppies, and so I steer them in the right direction and get them in touch with breeders across this part of Ontario and Quebec, who I know are having pretty decent pedigree, pretty decent working dog litters, and I recommend them, and away they go. Go Perfect. Get a dog.
If people are looking for puppies, then they can contact you and get recommendations.
Yeah. Like I said, it's no big deal, and I don't mind doing it. I would prefer you get a decent bred dog and be happy with it, and maybe not want to do anything more than just be a pet with it. But I would rather you get a well-bred dog and be happy with it than to go and buy a Gigi or someplace or from somebody who you have no idea who they are, and then be disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the show again, Bill. And look forward to it. Thanks again to Bill from Cedar Ridge Retrievers. So if you want to get a hold of him, just send us an email and we will forward his info off to you.
Yep.
And you can go play with dogs at his place.
Yeah.
Like train them how to do stuff, how to do cool stuff.
The
Get
reality
you a beer
is
from the fridge.
exactly.
Retrieve me a beer.
Yeah, that'd be the first one.
Retrieve me a beer. Beer. And you're going to do it.
Beer.
But
Get me a beer.
we do know that it's training the person more than the dog.
Like the Caesar Milan thing.
Yeah, you have to train the person.
Yeah.
Calm, assertive energy. Then your dog will just get whatever you want for him. Get me a beer.
Beer. You're
Doesn't work
all
on my
about
cat.
beer.
Yeah.
You've trained your children to do that, though, right?
Yes, I could yell right now and I would get a beer somewhere. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Anyways, let's get on to listener feedback. Listener feedback is sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, and Cerakote finishes, as well as wood, steel, and dog refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca.
How do you dog
If you want your dog with a Cerakote finish on it or something like that, blinged out gold finish, contact Army DC Gunsmith. Not much going on Facebook today. A little bit quiet. I want to get into the emails though. Kyle, do you want to take this one from Kevin?
Sure. Hello, Adriel, Kelly, and noobs. Welcome to the show. Listening to the last episode, I was disheartened to hear Canpar stop delivering firearm products as less competition always leads to higher rates. In case nobody has mansplained how the Postal Service works to Adriel yet, the legal answer is alcohol and tobacco is the original purpose for the 18 or 19 plus with signature. This includes all legal vaping and cannabis products, however, weirdly excludes medication when prescribed. Anyways, as an avid, unusual pistol collector, I'd like to welcome the new dudes to the show, and since I've been an LC with CP for the last 15 years, I can probably crudely answer any weird postal questions you guys have anonymously on or outside the podcast, as long as you guys are okay with raw explicitives. Cheers, Kevin.
Yeah, of course we are. You listen to the show?
All right. So from today, we got a dog guy and we got a Canada Post guy.
Yeah.
We know a guy. We know a guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Want to know about where to get some stamps?
Yeah.
Cheap.
Interesting. He says the signature for 18 plus was originally because of alcohol and tobacco. By the way, you can no longer actually ship alcohol through Canada Post. They ask. You can't do it. So
don't tell them.
Yeah. It's a box.
It's their business.
Does it have any? Yeah. No, it's
never been asked that. It's like, yep, sure, there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually one nice thing that I'm looking forward to is not having to do the 18 or 19 plus thing. I want to just do signature, because when I get stuff delivered to me, I got to do I think I complained about this last time, rigmarole where I get the slip and I got to go to the post office.
Yes.
No. Leave the gun here, please. I don't care if you leave it between the screen door and my other door. It's fine.
Yeah.
I got a camera. I got one of them camera things.
Oh, come on. You
shows the postman coming up.
I've actually thought of taking my work laptop outside and sitting on the porch and watching the mailbox. So when the carrier comes, I'm actually there to grab it. I've never actually done it, but
the Nest Cam's are the best because I can see them coming in, and I can just walk down, and by the time they get to the front door and have rung it and scanned in the thing, I'm right there and I just grab it.
All you have to do, if you have one of the doorbell cameras and then it has the speaker on it, just leave it on the door. Move away from the door. Drop it.
I wish Canada Post delivered to my house. They'll deliver the mail in the mailbox a couple 100 meters up the road, but they will not deliver parcels to my house.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Anyways, thanks for that, Kevin. We got anything from Patreon or Instagram or Facebook? Nothing.
And no.
Nothing over there. If you want us to read what you sent us, send us an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. You can talk about Canada Post or dogs or something like that, but guns would be preferred.
Mhm.
Something to do with guns.
How about guns in Canada Post with dogs?
Hmm.
No. Or how about mailing a gun to
Mailing
the
a dog?
No,
Mailing a dog?
no, like a dog. Schrodinger's
Just poke
dog.
a couple holes in it. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
The box, not the dog. The box.
Just, okay,
Gotta clarify that stuff.
Adriel.
Patreon supporters. If you'd like to help support the show, head on over to patreon.com/slamfireradio. And we will put a patch and a sticker in the mail for you. And
We need to come up with some better swag.
send it to your house. We're going to get some better swag. Hey, if you got some ideas for some better swag,
Hey,
email
that's
us
a
at
good idea.
slamfireradio@gmail.com.
We
'cause we
want to
want
come
some.
up with something different. Although I like hats.
Different.
We need a new hat.
Hats would be cool.
Yeah.
Something different. We tried t-shirts.
Mm.
Don't want to do something that's the same. Do something that's different. We could do chamber
Really?
flags, but I already got like a million chamber flags.
Yeah, no, we don't want chamber flags.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Anyways, you got an idea smarter than us? Email us.
Everybody's smarter than us.
Shout outs. Kyle.
I just want to shout out Korth Group and Proof Research for helping with the barrel for my hunting rifle.
Nice.
That's going to be a very fancy hunting rifle.
It is.
It will be, yes.
Mm.
My hunting rifle this year will also be fancy. It will be a one of a kind gunsmith by me with a Dremel while I was a couple of beers in.
Oh dear.
Perfect.
Well, that's kind of all my guns. Kind of all my guns feel the kiss of that Dremel at some point. Beer's usually involved too. Anyone else for shoutouts? Bo?
Nope.
The OPP officers that let me cross the border so I could get to my match and see my family. So thank you.
Yeah, that didn't do the takedown in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Exactly. That too. Yeah.
Yeah, they just didn't ask the right questions. That's all. Okay. I wanted to give a shout out to Kelly and Kyle Kincaid for hosting me this weekend and also, doing some reloading. It was all a lot of fun. I took some videos for those of anybody. Go to my personal Facebook page and you can see some of the videos of us reloading. And yeah, that's about it.
Cool. All right. Just to sign off here, check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. Likes on Facebook. We're at probably more than that, 2,800 or so likes. You can give us a review on Facebook. So if you like the show, review us over there. Join the CCFR, and we'll see you next week.